wasn't the signal person. It was a different person than the signal person that was supposed to give us the signal. Oh, okay.
We thought we might wait for Jeff.
What a novel idea. Hey,
We're ready. I think he's ready.
He's ready?
He's ready.
he's ready?
He's set.
You
Okay.
ready? Okay. All right. Here we go.
When you're feeling all alone, nothing in your life is going on, just reach out and touch someone. Just touch them with your love. Touch somebody, touch someone. Fill their heart with a little sunlight. Hug somebody, yes, touch someone. Just touch them with your love.
Go, magic fingers.
When you're feeling sad and blue, I know something you can do. Find someone to give you to and touch them with your love. Touch somebody, touch someone. Fill their heart with a little sunlight. Hug somebody, yes, touch someone. Just touch them with your love. Life is whispering in your ear. Spread your wings and have no fear. Listen to what love has to say. You get just what you give away. It's as simple as it can be. Easy for you and the same for me. Touch someone and set them free. Just touch them with your love.
Everybody sing.
Touch somebody, touch someone. Fill their heart with a little sunlight. Hug somebody, yes, touch someone. Just touch them with your love.
One more time now. Touch somebody,
touch someone.
Fill their heart with a little sunlight.
Hug somebody, yes, touch someone. Just touch them with your love. Touch somebody, yes, touch someone. Just touch them with your love.
All right. Good job, buddy.
Wow, look who's in the house. Welcome back. Please give a round of applause for our special musicians and singers. Is Rich Michael
Yeah.
Robinson and Chris on the drums.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's special. What a blessing. And happy Father's Day to everybody and you online. So, our mission is to touch hearts and transform lives through the power of unconditional love and acceptance. We embody a spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. And I'm really glad you're all here joining us with that. So, there is one power, one presence, active in my life and in the universe, God the good. Today, Jeff is going to share with us the fathers in the threshold. I'm looking forward to that. And today, Kristen is going to come up and read the daily word for us.
Good morning and happy Father's Day. I celebrate fatherhood and bless all fathers today. Today, I bless my father and give thanks for the part he played in my life. I also bless those who showed me fatherly love, who taught and guided me, and who led by example by demonstrating the divine attributes of strength and wisdom. The love and support I receive from the father figures of my life helped me become the person I am today. I am grateful for these special ones who saw my potential and encouraged me to reach high and pursue my dreams. I am also thankful to them for the encouragement they provided during times of disappointment and discouragement. I bless the world's fathers and pray that they know the support and guidance they have so lovingly shared with me. The righteous walk in integrity. Happy are the children who follow them. Proverbs 27.
Thank you. So, do we have any new people here today for the first time? We've got a welcome packet for you. So you can raise your hand. And next we're going to do a quick little mingle. Say hi to your neighbor or fist bump or hug. I'll just do that really quick. Okay, guys, let's take a seat.
So they'll be singing too.
Yeah, that's fine.
I am, I am, I am, I am. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I'm free. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I see peace in my heart. Peace in my world, peace all around, peace radiates from me. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I'm free. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I see. Love in my heart, love in my world, love all around, love radiates from me. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I'm free. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment is where I belong. In this moment I'm free. I am. I am, I am, I
Take a nice breath and just be in that moment. So good. So what is father energy? It's not about masculinity, traditional roles, or fixing things with duct tape. It's a feeling. It's a force. A kind of emotional muscle memory that tells you you are held. You don't have to carry this alone. So I'm going to invite you to take a nice breath and know that you are held. You don't have to carry this alone. And imagine a time that you felt this. Bring that to mind. That you were held, you were supported. Breathe that in. Father energy can come from a teacher who saw your potential before you did, a coach who showed you how to fall and try again, a neighbor who quietly offered help without making you feel small, a friend's parents who always made you feel like you belonged. Now remember some of these memories. Draw on that. Feel it in your body. Feel that support. It's not about who they are, but how they made you feel. Take a nice breath in and draw on those memories, any one of them, and just know that you are fully supported, even in the times you don't feel like you are. Take another nice breath in and know that you are exactly where you belong. And so it is.
Mr. Bill Evans. That's who came to my mind during that meditation. He was our neighbor across the street, and every summer I got to water his lawn and made money for whatever it was I wanted to spend money on, which usually was model airplanes or tanks or something like that. My dad was in the military, so everything in our world was military, was war related, was tanks and things like that. So I want to welcome back the long awaited return of our little, I don't want to say little Larry, but our Larry. Welcome back at 98. So I had the pleasure to go see Larry on Friday, and I got over there, and there's two doorbells, one for Larry and one for Terry. So I pressed the Larry doorbell, and he came to the door, and I was so excited because it was the first time I've seen him walk and getting around since the hospital. So it's been a while, but he was getting around and everything. And so I said, "Well, you're about ready to come back, aren't you?" And he said, "Yeah, Terry's going to bring me back on Sunday." So happy to have you back, Larry. Honestly, it's so good. Father's Day. When I was during my time and tenure in the Baptist church in my evangelical days, there was kind of a running joke that Mother's Day, moms would come and we would praise the moms, and then Father's Day comes and we would beat the dads up because of what they should be doing and it was always this underlying energy that dads were always not doing enough. And there was always more that the dads could do. But the moms were just like, they got flowers and all that kind of stuff. So Father's Day I always kind of struggle with that. Like, how do I do Father's Day in a way that is building dads up and building the masculine energy, recognizing the masculine, but also honoring honoring things. So today, I want to take you through fathers at the threshold. And the idea of this is that, well, let me throw this out at you. Think about the most important transition in your life. Could have been riding a bike for the first time. Could have been first day of school, graduating, getting married, becoming a parent, changing careers, facing loss, or entering elderhood. Don't necessarily expect that my dad is there for elderhood, but we're fortunate to have men in our lives that are just a little bit older than us that can help us with that transition. So the father's role has never been about simply keeping a child safe. It's about helping us through a transition. Helping us through a transition. And we look at the broader view. Whoops. Oh, I didn't have that in my slide. So, talk about riding a bike. Anybody know what that is? Tote goat. Tote goat. That is what you call a tote goat, which is basically an adult mini bike. And that's what I learned to ride for the very first time when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And my dad had this way of teaching us. I'm sure all dads do this, right? They sit on the back and they get you going, and then they hop off. And then you're going, and you're like, I'm going, and I'm like, hey, where'd you go? And I got this thing going in momentum, so it's going in a straight line just because of the momentum of it, until I hit the fence, and and I came to a crashing halt. And I remember getting mad at my dad for jumping off the back, but that was how he trained us. Years later, we graduated from tote goats up to Honda 90s, Trail 90s. Remember those Trail 90s? And he did the similar thing to my sister. And my sister got mad. And she sat on the back of that and she just said, "Nope, you are not going to make me ride this. You are not going to make me ride this." And we laughed because she was so entrenched in her steadfastness. But that was the way my father trained me how to ride a motorcycle, a tote goat. And I'm sure his father probably taught him the same thing. A broader view of fatherhood is, let's just state right up front that there are people in our lives that have represented fathers or fatherhood. Or maybe there's been a single mom in your life that represented the father, the masculine energy. They could have been a coach, as it was amazing. Kimmy's, we didn't collaborate at all. She messaged me this morning and said, "Hey, I got something for the meditation if you don't have anything." And I'm like, "Okay." And then here she mentions a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a leader, a spiritual leader, a guide, a protector, some kind of a role model. I had a mentor late in life. His name was Milo Martin. He was an old cowboy. And he came alongside me when I was at rock bottom, when I hit the bottom of my addiction and realized I needed help. And he came alongside me and he mentored me and became my father figure. At a time when my father basically, I think he was ashamed of, I don't believe he was ashamed of me. I think he was ashamed of himself, that he didn't prepare me better. And I remember we used to do these father-son camping trips, and my son would come until he got to a certain age, and then he decided he was too old and didn't want to come anymore. So I ended up taking other boys from the church who didn't have dads or what have you. But one summer, one camping trip, I had my son come, and we did this. My son was going from 12 to 13, and we did this, what I call the manhood ceremony. And we took him through this manhood ceremony of this handoff of what it meant for him to become a man. And I had different men in his life there to speak into my son. So different ones that represented patience and different aspects of being a man. And it was the first time that my dad had met Milo, my mentor. And it was a very tender moment that I remember I heard it. It's the first time I've ever heard my dad admit that he was sorry about something. And I heard him say to Milo, "Thank you for being there with my son when I couldn't be." And I remember it was like the greatest gift of, not that I witnessed it, other than I just heard it. And wow, it was so powerful because it was almost like this acknowledgement of my father acknowledging that he couldn't be there for me and honoring this other man that was. So the question is who stood in the threshold for you? Now, it might be a difficult question for some because we didn't necessarily have the greatest fathers in our life, or the father figure in our life is not somebody that we can identify with. But I'm asking this question because later in the service, we are going to take an opportunity to say a word to that father. Fatherhood is ultimately an energy. It's an energy that says, "I'll walk beside you until you're ready to do it by yourself. I'll jump on the back of that tote goat and ride it until I feel that you've got control, and then I'm hopping off and letting you go. And you'll do what you're going to do." in the momentum of that. When we look at biblical times and we look at the different ways that a father is described, whether it be biblically or what have you, we have the biological father, we have an ancestral or forefathers, our founding fathers we sometimes refer to. We have the spiritual father or the mentor. We have the teacher or instructor that we look to as a father, a spiritual leader or a spiritual person. And then we have the father that we talk about here on most Sundays. And that's the father of origin. The father that we recognize as the source, is a divine power, the divine source that we all have within us. We're all connected to that father. In Unity, Charles Fillmore described the father aspect as the originating idea of the divine mind and creative source, while the mother aspect represents substance, expression, and manifestation. Unity, just lost my place here. In Unity, a father is not merely a biological parent. A father is one who helps something into being, into the next thing, the threshold. We have thresholds all around this church, and the thresholds are really easy because we're going from carpet to concrete. So the step into that threshold is pretty easy to make. But some thresholds can be really tricky. You can have a really low step or you can have a really high step. And if you misjudge that step, you could trip and fall. But thresholds are there for a reason. Thresholds can mean the space between beginnings. It can mean the difference in commitments or choices that we make. It can be a threshold of letting go, of walking through that, closing the door, and moving onward. A threshold into legacy. A threshold of dependence to independence. Of childhood to adulthood. Of fear into courage. And to the known into the from the known to the unknown. I'm going through that doorway. I have no idea what's on the other side. Anybody ever been in a fun house or one of those scare houses, haunted houses? How hard is it to go into that next transition? When you're going from one room to the next room, you have no idea what's going on. And you're relying on the person in front of you to help give you some sense. But if that person's backing up, which is usually, you're pushing, right? But usually if that person's scared, you're only going to go as far as their courage will take you. And if they're no longer courageous, if they're fearful, if they're frightened, they're going to back up and they're going to stop, and your progress is going to be hampered accordingly. Their strength or their courage only needs to be just a little bit more than the person behind them to keep moving. And I'll bet you that if they were in that haunted house by themselves, well, I know I wouldn't go in. Each crossing we made required someone to guide us, someone to encourage us, someone to bless, or someone to witness the journey, someone to celebrate with us. Now let's also recognize the difficulty, and that is the pains of our Father. There's a Bible verse in Joel that says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." It's interesting that the idea, the metaphor there is you're beating something into compliance. If we are all created in the image of God and we all have the attributes of God, then to become something violent requires a change, requires something to happen to our divine nature. It's interesting for when men go into the military has to break them down and rebuild them into something that becomes a weapon, an extension of a weapon. And those men or women have to become desensitized to their emotions. They can't have empathy. They can't have sympathy. They can't have anything that would cause them to pause in the moment of battle. It's something that is not natural to them. And yet, when those men come back from battle, or they come back from difficult times, is anything done to bring them back into their emotions? Is anything done to help them through the trauma that they've experienced? And I hope I'm not triggering anyone here when I talk about these things. But I think what we need to recognize, the bottom line, is that we need to recognize that our fathers were asked to do things that they weren't trained to do, that they is not part of their divine nature. They were forced into a role and then basically said, good luck. We're on this side of time where we can look back with all the understandings of psychology and PTSD, and we can look back and understand things. But nobody was prepared on the other side of that, of going into it. And then what did they teach us? We were taught, be strong, don't cry, hide your emotions. All of those things of what our fathers probably understood of how to get through life. They handed us that. Some of our fathers did. Some of our fathers just handed us what they knew was valuable or what they knew to go through life. Some of our fathers crossed the threshold of adulthood physically, but not emotionally. Some became providers, but never learned how to become emotionally present. Some carried trauma from war, poverty, addiction, abandonment, depression, or cultural expectations that taught them, be strong, don't cry, keep feelings to yourself. The result is that many fathers were physically present, but emotionally absent. And the absence is what creates the wound. And then the child naturally asks, wasn't I enough? What's wrong with me? Why didn't he choose me? Yet maturity invites us to stand in this threshold of our new selves. The threshold from blame to understanding. The threshold from pain to forgiveness. It's not excusing. It's not minimizing. It's just forgiveness. There's other scripture that talks about plowshares and swords, but then it's the other way. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, we taught you this, and now we got to teach you that. Now it's so easy to go to war, isn't it? Push a button. And yet you talk to men who've been in war and they never want to go through it again. They're the biggest advocates for peace because they know what the price of costs us. So our culture basically looks to either a worker or a warrior. Society has generally been given the much better recognizing what men produce and how they nurture. Historically, the warrior is expected to protect the tribe, defend the family, fight wars, confront dangers, and sacrifice themselves. And boys were taught to be tough, take a hit, be strong. Courage became associated with suppressing vulnerability. A man could endure pain. A man that could endure pain was celebrated. A man who expressed pain was criticized. And then the worker father. A man's worth became tied to his income, to his productivity, to his status, to his achievement, to his career success. And the question became, what do you do? How do you earn a living? Rather than, who are you? Many fathers came to believe that their primary contribution to their family was providing financially. And for a lot of fathers that came out of the war era, that was the way that they were able to overcome. That maybe I can't be there financially or can't be there emotionally, but I'll be there to provide for my family. And I'll throw everything into providing for my family to help them overcome. Because that's all I know to do. And for generations, many sacrificed enormous amounts of enormous portions of their lives to do exactly that. So the father's at the threshold, the missing recognition. What's sad is that while culture often celebrates soldiers, athletes, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and builders, it rarely celebrates presence, listening, emotional availability, attunement, nurturing. Yet these may be the most important gifts a father can offer. Children remember being seen, being encouraged, being believed in, being loved. I remember one time when my dad came into my shop, and he was a doubter. A couple doubters in my life that didn't think I could do what I was doing. And he came into my shop one day and he just stood there and looked around. It's like, I can't believe all that you've built. And that was as close as my dad could say to me, I'm proud of you. That was a blessing. Today, we have the modern threshold. The threshold that says, how can I connect? How can I be there for you? Can a man be strong and tender? Can a man be courageous and vulnerable? Can a man be protective and emotionally available? Can a man be successful and present? Many men were never taught this because their fathers didn't know. So our opportunity is to look at our fathers and recognize that they couldn't give us what they didn't know. Research increasingly suggests that what children need most is not a perfect father. They just simply need a present father. Not someone who simply pays the bills, but someone who pays attention. A father's presence affects confidence, emotional regulation, relationship patterns, self-worth, and resilience. Long after the paycheck is forgotten, the presence remains, or the absence remains. Friends, a unity perspective on all this is this. The father energy is not merely to be a warrior or the provider. It is the energy that calls forth life. It blesses, it encourages, it witnesses. It says, I see you. I believe in you. Go and become who you are. Jumping off the back of that tote goat and letting it go. I'm sure my dad was, I couldn't see it at the time, but I'm sure he was like doing one of these. Oh, when he saw me heading toward that fence. He didn't jump off there so I could run into the fence. He didn't wasn't doing it to mean me any harm. He was letting me go and letting me be. And trusting the fact that the fence probably wouldn't hurt me. Perhaps the next evolution of masculinity is not moving away from strength. Perhaps it is expanding the definition of strength. Strength is not carrying a burden. Strength is carrying a conversation. Strength is not protecting others from danger. Strength is helping them feel safe. Strength is not about building a house or a building, but it's about helping building a human being. Some of us celebrate Father's Day. Some of us grieve fathers. Some of us miss fathers. Some of us carry wounds from our fathers. And some of us are just fathers who are wondering if we've done enough. It's interesting. There are times in my life when, and this happened 3 months ago, I guess it was, an older man came to me, and I say an older man. He's younger than me. And he said, I want to have coffee with you. And this is not somebody that I'm really close to. I'm becoming close to him. But he came to me and he said, I see you as the father I never had. I want to spend time with you. I want to be like you. It's pretty powerful. And it's powerful for us when we can go through life and have these experiences, learn from these experiences, battles that we've been, and all of these things, to turn it into something that gives life. Maybe it's an opportunity to be a fantastic uncle. I'll never forget what you told me about Lucky. And you said, you told him you'll never be alone. I will always be here for you. If you can imagine what that meant to that little boy, what that means to that little boy. Thank you. Perhaps today is not about recognizing or about the perfect fathers, but maybe today is about recognizing that every generation stands at a threshold. We stand at that opportunity to take a step into something new. We have the opportunity to take the things that we've learned into the next generation, into the next period of time. So I have a question for you. I'm going to move past this here. Whoops. Oh, it didn't come in. All right, I put it in the deck, Byron, but it must not have updated or whatever. So let me ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to sit with this. If today was your last Father's Day with your father, what would you want him to know? Or if you could pass him a little secret, if you could tell him one little secret, what would it be? I'm going to invite the men to come up, and Christ music men, and to come up. And the song they had picked out was a song called Reach Out. Pretty timely. But think about that. And if you have an opportunity today, pass that message, pass that secret on. And maybe it's not even your dad. Maybe it's somebody that you've seen as a father figure. Maybe it's a mother who stood in that gap, who stood in that threshold to be that person. I got a message today from someone. It was what I needed to hear. Thank you. Stay curious, my friends, and be the blessing.
Wow. Thank you.
Well, this daddy thing goes on and on, doesn't it? I remember years ago I wrote a song about Father's Day, and it was called "Your Batty Daddy" or something like that. It was sort of humorous, and I thought about it for about 3 seconds and decided not to even think about that for this service. Because it was cute and interesting, but pretty stupid, so it deserved to not be. aired anymore. Because I had a dad, I've been a dad, and been a dad, and been a dad again, and the you just don't get the manual, you know. So
Yeah.
you learn by doing,
Yeah.
and by. Oops. Hope that didn't hurt too bad. Yeah, the fence is going to be okay, and you too. All right. This is called Reach Out. This is what we do because we want to help somebody else with what we do. How we live, because if we live long enough, we learn a lot of lessons and feel gratified to have an opportunity to share that with somebody. Reach out your hand, I'll be there in the darkness. When you find you need a friend, we'll share the words, the music, and the melody of a song that never ends.
Call my name in your time of trouble. I will hear your voice and I'll come to you. I'll bring my peace and my willingness to help you, to heal your heart, to make your dreams come true.
Reach out,
reach out,
I'll be there when I hear you calling.
reach out,
reach out,
I'll be there
when I see you falling. Reach out,
reach out,
I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out. There's no need to feel sad and lonely. You are surrounded by a world of love. You'll find answers to each and every question. Find the promised land you've been dreaming of.
see the light growing on the horizon.
See the colors as they come to life.
The colors as they come to life. Feel the freedom stirring in your heart space. Prepare for feasting with your spiritual fork and knife.
Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there when I hear you calling. Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there when I see you falling. Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Everyone will find the perfect answer. Everyone will understand in time. Take a step and you become the dancer to the rhythm and the rhyme. Reach out, I'll be there when I hear you calling. Reach out, I'll be there when I see you falling. Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Help me sing that. Reach out, I'll be there when I hear you calling. Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there when I see you falling. Reach out,
reach out.
I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out.
Thank you, fellas. Okay, so I wanted to offer, I probably should have prefaced this at the beginning was, but if you have something that you would like to share about Father's Day or about a tribute to a father, a tribute to someone, this is an opportunity to do that. So
Happy Father's Day, everybody, and everyone online. Randy, thank you for being the father who breaks cycles, the father who gives even when he has nothing left to give, the father who stops no matter what his struggles are and listens to his kids when they ask for his ear. Thank you for being the father so many need when they land in your care, like our nephew and our niece, every man that walks into your tire shop. You're there for them as a mentor, as a guide, as a love. As Tesla says in our favorite song, it's not what you got, it's what you give. It's not the life you choose, it's the life that you live. You have taught me by showing me what a good father is. And I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Randy, for sitting there for that. I don't know if y'all heard him growl as soon as she stood up. Does anyone else have something you would like to share?
Well, heck, I can share from here.
Yeah.
So it's not that, but you know, you asked, think about thresholds, and a few of the thresholds for me was when my dad took me down and bought my first bike, and I learned when I learned how to ride it, I didn't know how to stop, and I ran right into the street pole at the end of the street, and that stopped me. Another really wonderful time is when he took me to get my first real baseball glove. It was just a lot more money than we could really afford, but he did it anyway. And you know, as all of you, or as many of you, if you know, if it was the last Father's Day I had to spend with my father, no matter how many times he spanked me or told me from laughing comes crying, or you kids are nickeling and diming me to death, it would be just to let him know. He's helped make me who I am, and I appreciate it.
I'd like to add one little thing here too. It just occurred to me this very morning. I used to watch my daddy before he'd go out, whether we were going to church or he was going out dancing, whatever he's doing. Before he put his shoes on, he'd take it off, and or he'd get his sock and he would rub the shoe on the sock to kind of shine it up a little bit. And I saw myself doing that this very morning. So we learn, even if we think we know better than they do, because hey, I'm a teenager. I know what's going on in the world. You old people think you know, but I know. It took me a long time to realize that my wife even reminds me of this occasionally. I'm so much like my daddy, it's hard to believe. Yeah, he gave me a lot. Some of it I like. It's enough of that.
Anyone else? No? Put your hand up.
Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about really the father of this ministry. To me, was David Jones. And I look around my house, I look around, you know, some of my belongings, but like the things that I cherish the most, the things that I remember the most was that broad-shouldered, stubborn as a son of a gun, determined, willingness to help, always available, always had a wise word. And the story I remember most about David Jones was when his kids were little, he got them a telescope. And of course, they were looking out into the sky, and he said to them, "The magnificence you see outside is nothing compared to what's inside of you." And that just is so David Jones to me. Just such a dear. I miss him so much. And I just, he probably was a lot like a father to many of us.
True.
So I just, that's a great opportunity to get to remember him today.
Well, someday I look forward to meeting David. I've heard a lot of stories about David. Anyone else? Okay. Oh. And David speaks.
Well, I want to thank you, Jeff, for what you said, because it really helped me kind of put things into perspective. My father was not the best example of how to be, more of an example of how not to be. And yet, sitting here and listening to what you said, if it was my last Father's Day with him, I would tell him that I forgive him. And I would tell him that I understand that he pretty much did the best that he could with what he knew how to do. Makes perfect sense. You know, you can't impart what you don't have yourself. And it's clear now, and I can kind of sit with that and be settled with that and accept that and be at peace with that. So thank you for saying what you did. It helped a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay. Going.
Gone. Last chance. So what I want to say real quick is kind of something Jeff had touched on about his dad and how he thought it was the blessing that his dad came into his shop and said, "Look what you've built." And I think the real blessing is that whether he could in the moment or found it later, that Jeff could get to a place where he saw it as the blessing and saw what it really meant. Because that's where we all need to kind of get to, because we tend to hold those things, right? Oh, they didn't say the words we were wanting or looking for. And the blessing is that we can see people do the best they can. They show up, and if they could do better in the moment, I really believe that they would. We're all where we're at. And yet we're all still a blessing, right?
Amen.
So it is. So I want to thank Jeff for his talk because it was amazing today. I want to thank the CMMs, which is Christ Music Men, that I forgot to mention earlier. And one more. Byron, thank you. So next is we got tithing.
Right.
Tithing and offering. So ushers, come up. I'm going to invite you guys to hold your gifts, sacred gifts, to your heart or your intentions, and all that multiplies and all that is goes way beyond we can ever imagine. And those of you online can do it on the QR code. You can mail it. And just know that you are enough. We're all enough. There's always enough. And know that everything that is given is always multiplied. We'll just stay in that flow. And so it is.
We can float in my little boat and sail right into bliss. A shining star right where we are shines bright, so we can't miss. Sail with me on a peaceful sea and know all is well. Serenity is what sets us free. This is a truth I'm glad to tell. In this moment where we are present and see far. It works for anyone who tries to see all that is with open eyes. In this moment where we are present and see far. In this moment we see how all that matters is here and now. All that matters is here and now. It's up to us to choose right now. No other time will do. The only space where love takes place right here with me and you. In this moment where we are present and see far. In this moment we see how all that matters is here and now. All that matters is here and now. Do what matters and do it now.
Thank you. Okay. So, join me in blessing our offering today. Divine love in, through, and as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Join me. Oh, here. Sorry, back up. Okay, so we're taking prayer requests. You have a little slip in the back of your chair, and there are more slips over here. The box is over here. You can write up a prayer. It will be prayed upon here for 30 days, and then goes to Unity Village and prayed for 30 days. And yeah, so anything on your heart, good or bad, it doesn't always have to be the heavy, right? You can put in great prayers too. So let's celebrate our good as well. Join me. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God, for there is only one power, one presence of God, and that God loves each and every one of us equally. Unity urges all nations, their leaders, their people, to pursue peace, not war, for this is what honors the God of all of our faith traditions. Now we have announcements. Yeah, we're having our yard sale, garage sale, Saturday, June 27th, which is next Saturday. And you can start bringing stuff. So Friday, we're going to set it all up, right?
Thursday, you can bring stuff Thursday, and then we'll be set up for Friday and Saturday.
You don't want stuff prior to Thursday? Guess that would have been today. Okay. So bring it. Bring all your stuff. No.
Just let us. We'll be here Thursday and Friday for sure, ready to receive stuff. And then if you need
Additional.
something picked up, reach out to me and let me know because I can come and get it.
Okay. And AA meetings on Monday nights here in North Spokane Center, Unity Center for North Spokane at 4:30. And we're going to start this June 22nd.
Tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. Okay. Yep. Please.
Hi, I'm Wendy, if you don't know me. The yard sale will be on, well, we won't turn anybody away on Friday if they want to buy something, but Wayne just told me that he's willing to pick up anything if you don't have a way to get it here. So I'm going to so come and see me after service, and I'll give you my phone number so that we can hear from you if you need a pickup. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank Jeff, who has been my main support while I was laid up. And thank you, Jeff, and also for the candy. They were very good. But most of all, I'm just happy to be part of this Unity community. And I just can't help but want to thank all of you that came to visit while I was in the hospital. And then on that particular day, when I was celebrating the 50th anniversary of my 48th birthday. And that was fantastic. Thank you all for coming to visit. It just added so much joy into my life. So, and for the gifts, many of you brought gifts, particularly the sweet stuff, because that's what I like.
We're so glad you're back, Larry.
Larry, you're still taking chocolate and peanut butter gifts.
Larry's still taking sugary gifts. Okay, so next we have meditation is the key to inner peace. And this is going to start in July. It's going to be on Monday nights starting at 6:30. And it's 4 Mondays. And this is with Rebecca and Harlan, which they're not here today. And it's going to be based off of Ananda, but it's a yoga meditation practice. And they will walk you through it and help you get a sense of what that is. My understanding is she might do it more if it's successful, if everybody's interested in. And that is a love offering, is that correct? Yeah, so that'll be by love offering. Wisdom Untethered 5-week series class. Tuesday mornings, July 7th through August 4th. And this is with Reverend David McClure. And it's a Zoom, right? Is it? Oh, okay. So it's at, okay, so this is going to be held up at Unity South. So it's an in-person class, and that's too, is by love offering. Spinal maintenance. This is all, we all need this, especially if we sit a lot. Qigong practice, and this is Sundays before service from 10 to 10:30 here at the Unity North classroom, and it's led usually by Mert and Melissa. Thank you, guys. Okay. Okay, so next we are going to bring in our children. We give one more hand around to the CMMs, the Christ Music Men. And
Kids are coming. I know they're coming. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Lucky's always here next to us first, and I think that I really appreciate that because I love that you're willing to share with us. What'd you do today? He's like, let me.
We meditated and we made this, and we learned that that people made stained glass back in the day to like tell stories at churches.
So, is there a story to your scissors?
I trace scissors. That's my story.
You guys want to share? You want to hold your picture up and show everybody? You can't talk about that.
You'll be platforming in 10 years.
There he is. You want to share what you did today?
S is for smiles.
You what?
S is for smiles.
S is for smiles. Can we see your picture?
Stained glass.
You're going to show?
I made a house. It's got a tree.
Nice. Well, thank you, guys. Okay, so join with me, and we are going to bless you. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share the joy of life with people far and near, and for ourselves. Be the love we are. Sing the song we hear. Share the joy of life with people far and near. Thank you, guys. And go find your parents. So next we're going to stand and we're going to do our peace song.
Okay, we're not going to start singing until everybody gets in a circle. Just to keep them from, so we don't stumble over each other. Everybody. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be
peace that was meant to be with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right.
The light of
God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the light of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God.
wherever we are,
God is, and all is well.
And that is the God honest.
Woo-hoo. Reach out,
I'll be there
when I hear you calling.
Reach out,
I'll be there when I see you falling. Reach out,
I'll
be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. I'll be there when I hear you calling. Reach out, I'll be there when I hear you falling. Reach out, I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out. One more time, everybody. Reach out, I'll be there when I hear you calling. Reach out, I'll be there when I see you falling. Reach out, I'll be there, you won't have to worry. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out.